we're going to rest a little bit from grammar, and we're going to focus a little bit more on vocabulary, listening, and speaking today. So to start us off, we're going to go to our book on page 58, and we're going to start by listening to a conversation between two siblings, a brother and a sister. Let's see. Victor, would you mind helping us read the instructions, please? Over here, number 2.
Listen to Lucia and Eta.
Ethan, yes.
Ethan. What do they talk about? Who's going there? Conversation and the end.
Okay, fantastic. So Lucia and Ethan are siblings. They're brother and sister. And they're having a conversation about food. What type of food? We're going to find out. Let me go ahead and play the conversation for you, and let's pay very close attention to see what it is that they're discussing. Let me know if you guys can hear it, okay?
Unit 6.
Yes?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Fantastic. In that case, let's go ahead and listen. Here we go.
Let's make a snack. Page 58. Listening. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
Me too. Let's make a snack.
Okay, let's see what we have in the kitchen.
Hey, how about some cheese and crackers?
That sounds good. But there aren't any crackers.
Is there any cheese?
Yes, there is. But just cheese? That's boring.
Well, there's a lot of bread. Let's make cheese sandwiches.
That's a good idea. Hey, we can cut them into shapes, like circles and stars.
That sounds fun. Okay, how many sandwiches do you want?
2. And you?
I want 3 sandwiches. So how much cheese is there?
There's a lot of cheese.
Okay, let's put 2 slices for each sandwich.
Good idea.
And what do you want to drink?
Apple juice.
Me too.
Oh no! There isn't much juice left.
That's okay. You can have the juice. Water is okay for me.
Hey, thanks.
This looks good, but I also want something sweet.
Well, there isn't much cake left, but there are 2 pieces.
Cool. We can have cake after we eat the sandwiches.
Hey, kids. What's that?
It's our snack, Dad.
And it's good.
Cheese sandwiches and cake. The cheese sandwiches are okay, but save the cake for after dinner.
Aww.
Really?
Yes, really. Hey, can I have a sandwich?
Well, there aren't many sandwiches, and there isn't any cheese left to make more. But you can have one of mine.
Oh, that's okay. I'll just have cake.
Dad!
Just kidding.
All right. I was like, I can't unmute myself. So that was the conversation between Lucia and Ethan. What are they talking about? Mariana, were you here for the entirety of the conversation? Did you come in a little bit late?
No la escuché completa, profesora.
Okay, no worries, no worries. In that case, let me ask, who was here from the beginning? I think Adrián, what was the conversation about?
Yes. Sí. ¿Qué se
Sure.
puede?
What
Teacher.
are they talking about? Are they talking about,
Teacher,
yes.
excuse me. Can you put in my correct class, please?
Oh, sure thing. Sure thing. Hang on.
Teacher,
Yes,
is
You-
the same case.
no worries, Fabi. Fabi, yes. There we go.
Thanks.
I see also Héctor Gabriel.
Sí, también a mí, por favor.
I gotcha. Okay. And Gabriel Molina too? Or no? I'm gonna think
Yes,
yes.
please. Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay. There we go. Here we go. Lydia, I'm guessing too. There's a bunch of people here that I don't recognize. Okay. I think we're good. So, Adrián, I was asking you, what is the conversation about? So, Lucia and Ethan, they're talking about something. What are they talking about?
¿De qué trata la conversación?
Yes.
Bueno, habla que Lucía tiene hambre.
She's hungry, okay. And then what do they do?
What?
What do they do? So she's hungry. What do they do about that? Do they cook something? Do they make something? What happens next?
Make a sandwich.
They make a sandwich. Yes. Adrián, do you remember? Did you hear them say that they were going to make a sandwich? Yes.
Sorry, teacher.
It's okay. Did you hear them say that they were going to make a sandwich? Si escuchaste que dijeron, vamos a hacer un sándwich.
Sí, yes.
Yes, what type of sandwich was it?
Cheese sandwich.
It was a cheese sandwich. That's right. Thank you, Sergio. So they say they are going to make a cheese sandwich. When you eat something between meals, do you know what that's called? Do you guys know what it's called when you eat? Let's say that you have breakfast and then you get hungry before it's time for lunch. So you eat a little something. Do you know what that's called?
Snacks.
Dinner?
A snack. Yes, a snack. So when you eat something in between meals, cuando yo como algo entre comidas, I'm gonna call that a snack. Like you can see here, a snack. So that's what they made. Lucia and Ethan, they made a snack, in this case, a cheese sandwich. So Lucia and Ethan, before they get to making the actual cheese sandwich, they have a discussion about the things that they can make, the things that they have in their refrigerator. And we're gonna listen again to this conversation, and then you guys will tell me what they ended up eating. Discuten un montón de cosas de qué pueden hacer, qué tienen en el refri. Vamos a escuchar la conversación una vez más para que ustedes me digan, con ayuda de esta tablita, qué comió cada quien. So, what did Lucia eat? What did Ethan eat? Did they eat cheese sandwiches, apple juice, water, cake? Yes or no? So let's go ahead and listen to the conversation one more time and pay very close attention so that we can make sure that we answer correctly. Here we go.
I'm hungry.
Me too. Let's make a snack.
Okay, let's see what we have in the kitchen.
Hey, how about some cheese and crackers?
That sounds good. But there aren't any crackers.
Is there any cheese?
Yes, there is. But just cheese? That's boring.
Well, there's a lot of bread. Let's make cheese sandwiches.
That's a good idea. Hey, we can cut them into shapes, like circles and stars.
That sounds fun. Okay, how many sandwiches do you want?
2. And you?
I want 3 sandwiches. So, how much cheese is there?
There's a lot of cheese.
Okay, let's put 2 slices for each sandwich.
Good idea.
And what do you want to drink?
Apple juice.
Me too.
Oh no! There isn't much juice left.
That's okay. You can have the juice. Water is okay for me.
Hey, thanks.
This looks good, but I also want something sweet.
Well, there isn't much cake left, but there are 2 pieces.
Cool. We can have cake after we eat the sandwiches.
Hey, kids. What's that?
It's our snack, Dad.
And it's good.
Cheese sandwiches and cake. The cheese sandwiches are okay, but save the cake for after dinner.
Aww.
Really?
Yes, really. Hey, can I have a sandwich?
Well, there aren't many sandwiches, and there isn't any cheese left to make more. But you can have one of mine.
Oh, that's okay. I'll just have cake.
Dad!
Just kidding.
All right, funny dad. Funny dad, isn't he? All right, so they mention a bunch of words. They mention a bunch of vocabulary. They mention a bunch of foods. The first food, oh, Ronaldo, yes, what's up?
Yo tengo un poco de duda en cuanto a unas palabras nuevas que escuché. Es kitchen y just kidding.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for asking. So the first one is kitchen. Kitchen is the place where you make the food. So what do you think it is?
Cocina.
Yes, cocina. The place where I make the food. That's kitchen. And then you heard just kidding. Es broma. Es bromita. Just kidding. So that's what it is.
También es como solo bromeo, ¿no?
Sí, I'm just kidding. Estoy bromeando, nada más. I'm just kidding. Es broma. So that's what it is. Es bromita.
Okay. Gracias, teacher.
You're welcome. All right. So the first thing that they ask is crackers and cheese. Does Lucia eat crackers and cheese?
No.
No.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't eat crackers and cheese. Why?
Because cracker don't haven't.
Yes, because they don't
Don't
have
have
crackers.
crackers.
Exactly. They don't have crackers, so they can't make crackers and cheese. Now, they don't have crackers, so obviously Ethan doesn't eat crackers either. Now, the second thing that they mention is cheese sandwiches. Does Lucia eat cheese sandwiches?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, she does. She does eat some cheese sandwiches. Does Ethan eat any cheese sandwiches?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he does. Question. Let's see if you were paying attention. Who eats more cheese sandwiches? Lucia or Ethan?
Ethan.
Ethan, how many sandwiches does he eat?
3.
3. And how about Lucia? How many
2.
sandwiches does she eat?
2.
2. Yes. So she was a little less hungry. Ethan was hungrier than Lucia. Very good. So next, they're eating some cheese sandwiches, so they need something to drink. Does Lucia drink apple juice?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, she does. She does drink apple juice. Does Ethan drink apple juice?
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Why not?
Because the Finnish apple wash is the apple juice.
They finished.
There isn't.
There isn't any apple juice anymore. So Lucia got all of the apple juice. Now there isn't any apple juice left for Ethan. So what does Ethan drink if there's no apple juice?
Water.
He ends up drinking water. Does Lucia drink water too?
No, she doesn't.
No, she doesn't. She does not. Now, as for cake, does Lucia eat cake?
No. She does.
No, she doesn't. Does Ethan?
No, she doesn't.
No, he
No,
doesn't.
he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Why don't they eat cake? They wanted cake, I thought.
Because
After dinner.
Because they leave it for after dinner. Okay, very good. So let's go ahead and check. Looks pretty good. Fantastic. Now we're gonna get into a little bit more of vocabulary. So we've been talking about single foods like rice, potato, tomato. Now this vocabulary is about complex foods. So instead of just having one ingredient, the foods that we're going to look at are usually going to have more than one ingredient. They're a little bit more complicated. So to check our vocabulary, here we have a bunch of pictures of food. I'm going to ask you guys about each of the letters, and then you will tell me if you see the name of the food here in the exercise. Now, you're going to notice that not every food is going to have a word to match it to. That's because this exercise is divided in two parts. Si luego ven que está una imagen pero no encuentran el nombre, es porque el ejercicio está en dos partes. Vamos a hacer primero la primera parte, luego la segunda parte. And then we'll practice pronunciation as we go. So this first one that I have right here, which is letter A, what is this?
it's cereal.
This is cereal. Yes. What kind of cereal do you think it is?
Cornflakes.
It looks like cornflakes. I agree. So we are saying that letter A is cereal. Go ahead and repeat after me. Cereal. Fantastic. Now here we have letter B. We have this thing that looks kind of creamy with some strawberries. What is this?
Yogurt.
This is yogurt. Go ahead and repeat after me. Yogurt. Pretty much the same as in Spanish, right? Now here I have something in letter C. It looks pretty green. Looks like it has a bunch of vegetables. What is this called?
A salad.
A salad. So go ahead and repeat after me. Salad.
Salad.
Good. And that was letter C. Now here at letter D, I have something in a bowl that I can eat with a spoon. What is this? It's like liquid.
Soap.
Soap.
Okay, so this is going to be soup.
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 Go ahead and repeat after me. Soup.
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 Yes. Now we have to be very careful here because if I say soap, soap is jabón. So you guys could tell me, oh, I eat soap for lunch every day. So you're saying that you would be saying que comes jabón, right? So soup, not soap, right? Okay. Next, I see that I have something in between two pieces of bread. What's this?
Sandwich.
Sandwich.
A sandwich. Very good. So we know this one. It's the same as in Spanish. Next, I have something that's kind of funky looking here. It looks like noodles, like similar to like spaghetti. Pasta. Very good. Pasta. Same as in Spanish, just, you know, make it sound a little bit gringo or pasta.
Pasta.
There you go. Excellent. And then, of course, we have letter F here. This looks like something between two buns. What does this look like?
Burger.
Looks like a burger. Very good. And as you can see, we already have it here. Again, this pronunciation is a little funky because, you know, they love to sort of eliminate vowels. So instead of saying burger, I'm going to say burger.
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 Yes, it sounds kind of funky because you have those two R's very close together. So it's like but that's how it is. All right, so that's my first half of the exercise. Everything looks great. Let's move on to our second half where I have a bunch more stuff. Let's see. So moving on to, we are done with part A. This is all done. Moving on to part B, what do I have here? I have an American monstrosity here. It's offensive, but what is it?
Tacos.
Tacos.
Is it tacos though? It's like tacos. I mean, it's a poor excuse for tacos, but yes. Now, obviously, I don't need to practice saying tacos, like that's in my blood. So we're gonna skip this one. Now, next, I'm gonna have this here. What are these called?
Crackers.
Crackers. Good. Now, question. What is the difference between a cracker and a cookie?
Crackers are
The
salad.
crackers is salad. And cookies
Okay.
are sweet.
Is sweet.
Okay, so you're very close. Me quisieron decir que las crackers son saladas. You told
Yes.
me crackers son ensalada, salad, remember? So how do we say, yes, exactly. How do we say salado? Salty.
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 Okay.
Yes, so crackers
¿Se
are
escribe
salty. Sorry, Roy?
Se escribe salty.
Yes, just the way that it sounds. You would write it like this.
Y.
Salty.
Okay, thanks.
Salty. You're welcome. Okay, so crackers are salty, cookies are sweet. That's the bottom line. Go ahead and repeat after me. Crackers.
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 And while we're at it, salty.
Salty.
Beautiful. Okay, so next I have something in a bowl. These things here, they look very small. What do they look like?
Nuts.
Nuts.
Nuts. Fantastic and beautiful pronunciation. Nadie me dijo nuts, which I'm very happy about. But let's go ahead and practice anyway. Nuts.
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 Fantastic. So this is letter I, it looks like, and then crackers were letter J. Next, I have something very
Nuts.
soft looking.
Ice cream.
That's
Ice
ice
cream.
cream. Very good. Go ahead and repeat after me. Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Now, what do I notice about the pronunciation of ice cream? It's two words, ice cream. But when I say
Ice cream.
it sounds like it's one. Do you guys agree? It doesn't sound like ice cream. It sounds like ice cream, like it's only one word,
Okay.
right? So that's how I'm going to pronounce it. Even if it's two words, I just say it all together, ice cream. All right.
Ice cream.
Next, I have something delicious looking here. What is this thing over here?
Cake.
Cake. Yes. Go ahead and repeat after me. Cake.
Cake.
Good. And then finally, I have something very colorful looking here over at letter M. What is this?
Sushi.
Sushi. Very good. This one is pretty much the same as in Spanish, so we can skip it. And that's it. That's our new vocabulary for the day. Do we have any questions, you guys, about the vocabulary that we saw today, or anything else that I would like to learn how to say?
No questions.
No question.
No questions. Alrighty then. So in that case, yes, Jose Manuel.
¿Qué significa nuts?
Nuts, nueces.
Okay.
Nueces. So you can have a bunch of different nuts, just like in Spanish. You can have, what do you call them? Cashews. You can have cashews, cashew nuts. You can have walnuts. You can have pecans. Igual que aquí tenemos nueces de Castilla, nueces de la India, etc. Pero en general, cualquier tipo es just nuts. Right? Okay. So a few classes ago, you're welcome. A few classes ago, we mentioned that we have different names for the different types of meals depending on when in the day I have them. So just as a reminder, regarding this word here, meal. What is a meal?
La comida.
La comida, yes. But it's important to remember, thank you, Daniel. It's important to remember that meal is very unspecific. When I say meal, really what I'm saying is something in a plate with food in it, and that's it. A meal can be, I can have a meal in the morning, I can have a meal in the evening, I can have a meal at lunch. It doesn't specify the type, it doesn't specify the time that I'm going to eat it. Es bien importante, chicos, que no confunda yo esta comida, que sí es comida, con la comida en términos de lo que me como en la tarde. Lo que me como en la tarde yo le digo comida y eso es lunch. Pero meal se refiere a cualquier platillo, cualquier cantidad de comida que yo ponga en mi plato, eso ya es un meal, es una comida. Entonces puedo tener comida de desayuno, de tarde, de noche, pero no lo confundan con el lunch, que es como la comida, que es la comida, valga la redundancia, la comida de la tarde, right? So that's the difference. Now, how many meals do I have in a day? We talked about this a few weeks ago. What's my first meal of the day?
Breakfast.
Breakfast, okay. What time do I usually have breakfast? Susana, what time do you have breakfast? In the morning, okay. In the morning, it can be, some people have breakfast at 6, some people have breakfast at 8. If you're me, you have breakfast at like 11. So as long as it's in the morning, that's usually gonna be my breakfast. What do I eat after breakfast?
Lunch.
Lunch.
Desayuno.
Fantastic. So desayuno, Adrian, is the
No.
first one. Breakfast.
Ok.
Yes. So after breakfast comes lunch. What time do I usually have lunch?
Oh,
In the afternoon,
In the afternoon, normally, yes. And then what comes after lunch?
dinner.
Dinner. Yes, very good. So I have dinner usually, what time do I usually have dinner?
in the evening,
In the evening. Thank you, Susana. Yes. Now, these are the main meals for most people. Most people eat 3 times a day, but sometimes you get hungry in between meals. What do we call the meal that I have between breakfast and lunch, or between lunch and dinner?
Snack.
snack,
Snack. Exactly. So I can have breakfast, maybe I can have a snack, then I have lunch, and maybe I can have another snack. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, sometimes when I eat something, I'm no longer hungry and I feel full and I feel satisfied, but there is like an emptiness inside of me. And I'm like, me falta algo dulce. So what do we call that?
A snack.
dessert,
A
Dessert.
dessert. Yes.
Dessert.
So we gotta be careful with the pronunciation here because there is a very similar word, which is desert. So notice how this word here has 2 S's and this one only has 1 S. So if I'm talking about this, I'm going to pronounce it dessert. Go ahead and repeat.
Dessert.
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 dessert,
Yes. And a dessert is something sweet that I eat after a meal. So it can be chocolate, it can be ice cream, it can be cookies, cheesecake, I don't know, there's a bunch. Now, if I say desert, what I'm saying is Chihuahua, Sahara, Sahara in English. Sahara, I'm saying Durango, I'm saying Sonora, desierto, right? So very different. Very similar, but different at the same time. So this sweet food, this dry place with no water.
Lo
So
único
this
que
is
cambia para el postre es solamente una S, ¿no?
una S y la pronunciación, Adrián. Fíjate que aquí voy a decir, el énfasis va a ir en mi primera sílaba, desert, desert. Y en esta otra, el énfasis va a ir en la última sílaba, dessert, right? So that's the difference.
Ok.
All right, so those are my main meals, more or less. Now, let's go ahead and do this exercise, this next exercise, just to make sure that we got them all correct, that we got them figured out, that we don't have any questions. My first meal is breakfast, and the definition is a meal in the morning. That's it. Next, I'm going to have lunch. Mariana, what is the definition of lunch?
meal in the afternoon,
A meal in the afternoon. Beautiful. Griselda, what is dinner?
a meal in the evening,
Exactly, a meal in the evening. Next, I have a dessert. Victor, what's a dessert?
Food after dinner, usually sweet.
Food after dinner. Very good. Usually sweet, always sweet. If it's not sweet, it's not a dessert. And finally, Enrique, what's a snack?
Food in between meal?
Exactly. Food in between meals. And that's pretty much it. Now, we had also had this discussion. A few classes ago, which was that meals in Anglo-Saxon countries are a little different from meals in Latin America or even Europe. So in the US, Canada, and all of those places, what is the main meal? What is the biggest, most important meal of the day for them?
The dinner.
Dinner, yes. What would you say is the most important meal of the day for us?
The lunch.
Lunch, yes. So usually for them, they're going to have a very light lunch, like say a sandwich, a salad, something very, very simple, very small. And the dinner is going to be the heavy stuff, like the meats, the beef, the chicken, the mashed potatoes, etc. And so that's why they usually have dessert after dinner. We would normally have dessert after lunch. Do you guys agree, or do you have dessert at any time of the day? That's personal preference. I always have time for dessert. All right. So to practice our vocabulary and to practice our speaking a little bit, I'm going to ask a few of you to tell me about your eating habits. I'm going to start by asking Mariana. Mariana, what do you usually have for... Oh, and I'm going to ask you guys as well. I would like for you to practice using the frequency adverbs. Do you remember those frequency words that we learned? Sometimes, usually, often, always, never. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember.
No? Beautiful. Thank you, Ronaldo. So try to incorporate those frequency words when you answer what I ask you. For instance, let's say that I ask myself, Paulina, what do you normally have for breakfast? Well, I usually don't eat breakfast because I wake up very early for school and I end up getting to school at like 7:30. So I usually don't eat breakfast. However, I always drink coffee. I always drink coffee in the morning. Sometimes, if I have the time, I eat oatmeal. Sometimes I eat eggs, but usually no breakfast. So I'm going to ask a few of you guys to tell me about your eating habits. I'm going to start with Cassandra. Cassandra, what do you usually have for breakfast?
Hi, teacher. Well, I usually in the breakfast. Lo siento, es que se oye medio cortado.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay. In the morning, my breakfast, I usually have a coffee with milk and a sandwich.
Okay. What type of sandwich? What goes into your sandwich?
I don't know. How can I say jamón?
Oh, so for jamón, we say ham. So you usually have a ham sandwich. Yes?
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
So, a ham sandwich with cheese.
Ah, sounds delicious. Sounds really good. Thank you, Cassandra. Thank you for sharing. Now, Mariana, what do you usually have for lunch?
Normally breakfast, toasted bread and smoothie, banana smoothie.
Oh, that sounds good. So I'm glad you mentioned this because you said toasted bread, which is perfectly okay. But if you want to make it even shorter, instead of saying toasted bread, you can just say toast.
Toast.
Yes. So very common. You can say, I had some toast. Y se entiende that you mean toasted bread. Some toast. And that's it. You can also use it for pan francés, French toast. So FYI, just a little extra vocabulary. Thank you, Mariana. Now let me ask you, do you ever snack? Do you like to snack between meals? That's for you, Mariana. That's still for you.
I'm sorry, teacher.
It's okay, it's okay.
Excuse me, pregunto algo?
Yes, do you ever snack between meals?
Yes.
What do you like to eat for snacks?
Yes. Apple and almendras.
Okay, apples and almonds.
Almonds.
Yes, that sounds very healthy. Good for you. Good for you. Whenever I snack on like cookies, which I shouldn't. All right, thank you, Mariana. Thank you for sharing. Now, Griselda, can you tell us about what you had for dinner yesterday? What did you eat for dinner yesterday?
Yesterday, I always drink coffee in the morning.
Okay.
And I ate eggs with ham and how do you say frijoles?
Beans.
And beans and papaya.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I love papaya. So just remember, you guys, jamón, ham, right? Let's keep that in mind because we eat a lot of ham here, apparently. Very good. Thank you, Griselda. Thank you for sharing. Let me ask Abigail. Abigail, do you like dessert? Do you like to eat dessert?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite dessert?
My favorite dessert is ¿cómo se dice fresas con crema?
Strawberries with cream.
Okay.
That sounds
my favorite.
awesome.
Yes.
Strawberries and cream.
Strawberries with cream.
How often do you eat strawberries with cream? Like every day, every week? How often? ¿Qué tan seguido?
Every week.
Every week? Okay.
Yes.
Good for you. That sounds like a good ritual to have. Okay, I'm gonna close this off by asking Sergio, do you have a type of food that you hate, that you don't like?
Food.
Or maybe just one ingredient that you don't like?
Cucumber.
Cucumber? You don't like cucumbers?
No, it's disgusting.
Okay, I don't like cucumbers either.
Okay.
But the thing that I hate, that I really hate, are onions, which is a hard thing to hate when you live in Mexico. It's like inescapable. Everything has onions.
Every food in Mexico has onions.
Yes. So it's a very sad situation for me. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for sharing about your food habits. So we've been talking about the times of day to eat: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and maybe a snack in between. So we're going to practice our reading a little bit, and we're going to go back to page 56. This is page 56 on our book. And we're going to read about a girl's very particular lunch. Lunch can vary. Well, every type of meal can vary depending on the country. In this case, we're going to be talking about a lunch from Japan, a very special type of lunch from Japan that is called a bento box. So we're going to go ahead and read this article. I will have you guys help me read it. I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to ask Mayra, will you please help us read this first paragraph? The title is, What's for Lunch? Art You Can Eat. Go ahead, Mayra, please.
Thank you. Are you can eat? Do you know what a bento box is? It's a meal in a box. It comes from Japan, and it's great for a school lunch. Pack your lunch in the bento box and eat in a style is healthy and fun. No more sandwich and potato chips. These little boxes often have rice, vegetables, and fish or meat in them.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mayra. Thank you so much. So before we continue, do we have any questions about the vocabulary that we see here? Any words that I don't recognize?
Yes, bento.
Bento. So bento is the actual name of this style of lunch. Este tipo de almuerzo de comida japonesa se llama bento y ese es el nombre, es un bento, es un tipo de comida. Let me show you some pictures of bento boxes. They are famous for being very pretty, very nice to look at. Let me show you a few examples of a bento box. Let's see. So they're very, very popular in Japan. And it looks like this. So you basically you make your lunch look very pretty. You put it in like a lunch box, and then it's like very delicious looking. En lugar de echarlo yo en mi topper así nada más todo mezclado, I try to make it look very beautiful, like this. So that's a bento box. Looks
It's
nice,
cool.
right? Yeah, it looks kind of really pretty, really appetizing. Please ignore my email. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Here's the book. Yes. There it is. So besides bento, now we know what a bento lunch is. Any other words that I don't know?
Shapes.
Shapes. Let me find it. Where?
The rice into different shapes.
Oh,
For
here.
example.
Okay, so shapes is like, for instance, this is a circle. It's an ugly circle, but it's a circle. This is a square. This is a rectangle. No, sorry, this is a triangle. This is a rectangle. So those are shapes, formas. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so let's continue with the rest of our articles. Our article, sorry, it's only one. For the next paragraph, I'm gonna ask Susana, will you please help us read?
Some bento boxes have special food in them. Sometimes Japanese parents make the rice into different shapes. For example, popular cartoon, characters, animals, flowers, and famous building. And their children eat them for lunch.
Yes. So as we said, the idea or the point of bento boxes is to make them as cool or as pretty as you can. Very good. Do we have any questions about this vocabulary? We mentioned shapes. Anything else that we don't know? How about buildings? Do we know what a building is?
Construir.
Sort of, more or less. So a building is this. Whoa, that's ugly. Hang on. Let me do it again. So like this, and then it has windows. A bunch of windows.
The
That's a
tall
building.
construction.
Construcciones.
Construcciones, edificios, specifically. Building, edificio. So like, I don't know, the Torre
Empire State Building.
The Empire State Building. Thank you. I was like, what's a famous building? I don't know. Yes, the Empire State Building is a good one. Okay, and then to finish up, we have the last paragraph here. Let me have Jose Manuel, will you help us read this last one?
Okay. Let's look at Kazuko's bento box. What does she have for lunch? She says, I have some rice and some fish, but I don't have a meat today. My rice isn't the shape of an animal. I have 2 pandas.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Notice how they are using some rice, some fish, and I don't have any meat today. And we're using it in the negative. Remember what we saw yesterday? All right, so that's what a bento box is. Now that we have read the article, this woman says, my bento box has rice, fish, and no meat. My rice is in the shape of an animal. I have 2 pandas. Out of these 3 pictures that I have here, which one is this lady's bento box? A, B, or C?
C.
C, exactly. Very good. And then, as for the questions regarding the article, what did we say a bento box is? What is a bento box?
It's a snack box or like a snacks box.
Like a box of snacks, okay, that I can have usually for lunch, right? So it's a special type of lunch that's kind of very light with a bunch of snacks. Yes, thank you, Enrique. Now,
is only lunch?
I guess you could have it for lunch, or I guess you could have it for a snack. Depends on how hungry you are, I suppose.
Okay.
Now, these special types of lunches. Where in the world can we find them? Have you ever seen something like this in Mexico?
Yes.
You have? Los otakus, no? Like
No, I'm not a otaku, but
no, I'm kidding. They're very cute. They're very cute. They're very cute. I wish we
it's
had
not. It's not mine. It's just it's from my wife, but
yes, but I love them. I think they're very cute. But it's not like the typical lunch that you would see here, right? I mean, you may find them, but it's not like the norm.
No, yeah, it's actually you can buy it in the store of in Mexico, no me acuerdo el nombre de la plaza, pero ahí los venden.
Friki
En una plaza en
Plaza.
México.
Ah, the Friki Plaza. Yes. But where does it come from? Like what culture does it come from?
Chinese.
Chinese, you sure?
Chinese. No, in the Chinese store, you can buy it.
Okay. So I suppose we could find them in Chinese places, but it's more from another country. It's more typical
It's
from
more
another
Japanese.
Or Japan.
It's more Japan. Yes, it's more
Yes.
Japan than China. Absolutely. All right. Now, what makes a bento box special? Why is it different than like a regular Tupperware where you just throw everything in it?
The shapes that you can put your food.
The shapes that you can put your foot in, you make it look pretty. That's pretty much it. You make it look like a panda. You make it look like a pig. Like here you have some pigs. You make it look like, I don't know, a square, a star, etc. So basically what makes it special is that you make it pretty. And that's pretty much it regarding bento boxes. Sergio says that he makes or he buys bento boxes for your wives. For his wife, sorry, just the one. I hope you guys will be able to recognize a bento box if you ever come across one. And you'll be like, oh yes, I saw this in my English class. I hope you do. All right, so that's it for today, you guys. That's it for our listening and reading practice. Do we have any questions about the vocabulary today? Or any other questions at all?
No questions.
No questions. Thank you. All right. So in that case, you guys, that is it for today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. I was going to mention something regarding the oral exam. Let me stop the recording here.